That's big, guys. That's big. That's big. I don't know how. That's big. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
It looks like an eye with a bulbous back of the head and a beak. And that's us now making down towards the back of the caiman. There's the back.
Get up right here! Look right here in the car! This is somebody's house! We're gonna need to turn around!
This terrifying clip was uploaded on Real D's Dark Adventures' TikTok. A man went camping alone deep inside a forest, planning to spend the night surrounded by silence and darkness. Hours passed without incident, until late at night, he stepped outside his tent with a flashlight, slowly scanning the trees. The forest felt unusually still, as if everything had paused. As the beam of light moved forward, it suddenly caught something staring straight back at him. It wasn't moving. It wasn't hiding. The shape was massive, far larger than any animal he could recognize. The eyes reflected the light, locked onto him, unblinking.
It's the same one. That's big, guys. That's big. I'm telling you, if it stands up. That's big. That's big. That's big. I don't know how. That's big. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Nope. That's big, dude. No. Guys, those eyes got like a foot. Okay.
For a moment, neither of them moved, and the distance between them felt dangerously small. Fear took over. He didn't wait to find out what it was or why it was watching him. He backed away, grabbed what he could, and left the campsite immediately, convinced he had wandered somewhere he was never meant to stay. And when something in the forest watches you before you notice it, would you still call it just another camping trip? This terrifying clip was uploaded on History Fuzz's TikTok. A group of people went camping deep inside a remote jungle, exploring the area during daylight before nightfall. As they moved uphill, one of them noticed something strange in the landscape. On the left side, the terrain seemed to form the shape of a massive serpent. Just ahead, the rock formation began to resemble a bird's head. An eye-like hollow, a rounded back of the skull, and what looked eerily like a beak. At first, they laughed it off, thinking it was just imagination. But as they continued moving downhill, the shapes became harder to ignore.
Past the horn-nosed serpent on the left, and the team are just coming upon the bird's head. It looks like an eye with a bulbous back of the head and a beak. And that's us now making down towards the back of the caiman. There's the back.
From a higher angle, the formation now looked like the body of a giant caiman. The back, the snout, and a single eye shape were clearly visible, with what appeared to be an open mouth near the bottom of the hill. The camera kept rolling as they passed what looked like horned shapes in the rock, and the mood slowly shifted from curiosity to unease. None of them could explain why the shapes felt so deliberate, almost too perfect to be natural. Some believe it was nothing more than pareidolia, the mind finding patterns where none exist. Others think the jungle was hiding something older, watching quietly as they passed through. And when the land itself starts to look alive, would you keep walking or turn back before night falls? This disturbing clip was uploaded on Neobsnimastyle's Instagram. A few friends went camping deep in a dense forest as night began to fall. Around them, dry leaves littered the ground, and the forest seemed quiet, almost too quiet. They had set up their tents on a small clearing, perched on a little rise, thinking it was a safe spot for the night. Suddenly, the darkness was filled with terrifying, unexplainable sounds. Screams, growls, howls. The friends froze, hearts pounding, unsure if what they were hearing was human, animal, or something far more sinister. Every rustle of leaves and shadow moving in the trees made the fear grow. They had no idea what was approaching, but instinct told them to stay calm and stick together. Rescue teams and researchers might later try to explain these sounds, but for the campers in that forest, there was no time for logic, only survival. Was it just a wild animal, or something truly unknown lurking in the dark? One thing is certain: in the forest at night, every sound can become a nightmare. So, when you head into the woods after dark, would you dare stay if you heard something that shouldn't exist? This scary clip was uploaded on Zach Lake Powell's Instagram. A few boys and girls went camping in the middle of a narrow valley, wedged between two towering mountains. On either side of them were massive cliffs and huge rocks, making the spot look adventurous, but also extremely risky. At first, everything seemed calm. The air was fresh, and the group was excited for their little escape into nature. Suddenly, rain started pouring down from above. Water began rushing down the slopes on both sides of the mountains, quickly filling the valley.
This wasn't the plan.
The group realized the danger and scrambled towards safer, higher ground. In an instant, the narrow valley could have trapped them completely. The sheer speed of the flood left their hearts racing. They barely managed to get out in time. It was a shocking reminder of how powerful and unpredictable nature can be. Even a seemingly peaceful camping spot can turn deadly in seconds. Adventure is thrilling, but survival depends on awareness, quick thinking, and respect for the environment. This encounter proves that sometimes the mountains don't give warnings, and you have to run for your life. So, when you head into the wilderness, are you truly ready for the moment nature strikes without warning? Before we go any further, I'd like to ask you for a quick favor. If you are enjoying the video so far, please give it a like. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now is the perfect time. We're getting closer to 30,000 subscribers, and once we hit that milestone, a few lucky subscribers will receive a special surprise. Now let's go back to the video. Fahad MK went camping deep in a dense forest during the daytime. The forest was thick and overgrown, full of shadows and hidden corners. Fahad rode his bike into the area, searching for the perfect spot to set up his camp. He climbed a tall tree to scout the location and get a better view of the surrounding area. Suddenly, he heard an unexpected sound below. Looking down, his heart sank. A tiger was hiding in the forest, stalking the very spot he had chosen for camping. Fahad realized immediately that if he went down, the tiger could attack. Fear gripped him as he understood just how close the danger was. That once peaceful forest had turned into a deadly trap in an instant. This encounter left Fahad shaken and with a hard lesson. Sometimes, no matter how carefully you plan, nature's predators can appear without warning. After this, it's unlikely he'll ever camp in that forest again. It's a chilling reminder that in the wild, you're never truly safe. And even a beautiful forest can hide a deadly threat. So, the real question is, would you risk camping knowing a predator could be lying in wait? This scary clip was uploaded on Reed Timmer's Instagram. What starts as an ordinary outdoor adventure quickly turns into a nightmare no one was prepared for. Campers across Tornado Alley set up for the night, unaware that nature was about to unleash its full power. In one chilling moment, storm chasers inside the Dominator 3 intercept a massive tornado as it forms. Instruments record winds reaching an unbelievable 120 miles per hour inside the suction vortex, the exact moment the tornado plants itself on the ground.
Power flashes! Touching up right here! Debris in the car! This is somebody's house! We're gonna need to turn around, guys! Direct intercept to the door! Direct intercept to the door!
As night falls, the danger doesn't fade. Instead, it moves closer. A powerful tornado later strikes Valley View, Texas, tearing through the area and proving that Tornado Alley is truly active again. For anyone camping nearby, there's no shelter, no warning strong enough, only the desperate need to escape before it's too late. With meteorologists closely watching the October 20th to 23rd window for the start of the fall severe weather season, one thing is clear: these storms are far from over. Live Dominator mode will return soon. But for campers caught in the open, the real question is, when the sky turns violent with nowhere to hide, would you know how to survive? This terrifying clip was uploaded on Haley_country_mom's Instagram. In this video, we can see a family enjoying a peaceful camping trip near a waterfall in the mountains. The mother is recording a video of their children and the father, capturing their happy moments as they sit together, laughing and having fun. It's a quiet, joyful day. One of those rare moments where everything feels calm, safe, and perfect in the middle of nature. Suddenly, the father notices something unusual. He freezes, then points ahead with his finger. At the same moment, their daughter nervously tells her mother that there's a crocodile on the mountain slope. When they all finally spot it, fear instantly takes over. The crocodile is there, right in front of them, and it looks terrifying. Its mouth is wide open, as if it's ready to attack, giving the impression that it's about to choose one of them as its prey. For a moment, it feels like the crocodile is targeting them, moving as if it intends to strike. The family realizes just how dangerous this place truly is, a reminder that wild animals can appear even in places that seem safe and beautiful. This area, deep within the hills and forest, suddenly feels extremely frightening. And it leaves one unsettling question behind. Were there more crocodiles hiding nearby, watching them all along? This scary clip was uploaded on Ali Golbasti's Instagram. This clip shows a terrifying moment from the Chipperson Valley, where a peaceful camping trip quickly turned into a fight for survival. Campers had settled near the mountains of Yeshkuk, enjoying the silence of nature, unaware that they were standing directly at the epicenter of a powerful force waiting to strike. Without any warning, the ground began to shake violently. A 5.8 magnitude earthquake ripped through the valley, turning the calm campsite into chaos within seconds. Tents trembled, rocks crashed down from nearby slopes, and dust filled the air. Extremely alarming footage captured the moment when campers realized they were in grave danger, scrambling to run as the earth beneath them refused to stay still. Panic spread fast. With no shelter and the mountains surrounding them, every second felt like a gamble between life and death. What began as an adventure instantly became a desperate escape from nature's raw power. And as the shaking slowly faded, one haunting question remained. If the earth can turn deadly without warning, would you know when to run and when it's already too late? On March 15th, 2025, a group of hikers set out to climb Spantik Peak, which rises to 7,027 meters in Pakistan's Karakoram Range. At first, the ascent seemed straightforward, but the thin snow covering much of the mountain made every step uncertain. Patches of exposed earth revealed treacherous terrain, turning each movement into a delicate balance between safety and disaster. The climbers could feel the mountain's quiet unpredictability, knowing that one wrong step could send them sliding down the slope. But the calm didn't last long. Suddenly, a massive boulder perched precariously at the top of a nearby hill began to shift. Slowly at first, then faster, it tumbled downward, scattering smaller stones in every direction. The campers screamed and scrambled, hearts pounding as the giant rock barreled toward them. This scary clip was uploaded on Guide Toysland's Instagram. A few people went camping on Reynisfjara Black Sand Beach in Iceland. The beach was stunning, covered in black sand, scattered with small rocks, and surrounded by icy cliffs. The waves crashed onto the shore, creating a mesmerizing but powerful scene that seemed almost otherworldly. As one person filmed the scenery, a massive wave suddenly surged toward the group. The force of the ocean threw one of them into the water. In a terrifying instant, the camper was being swept away, struggling against the icy current. Panic set in as the others scrambled, trying to pull their friend to safety. Against all odds, quick thinking and teamwork saved them. But the moment was a chilling reminder of how unpredictable the sea can be. Iceland's nature is breathtaking, but also unforgiving. No photo or video is worth risking your life. Adventure is thrilling, but staying alert, respecting warning signs, and keeping a safe distance can mean the difference between life and death. So when you visit wild beaches like this, would you risk standing too close to nature's power? This terrifying clip was uploaded on Lakrama's Instagram. What seemed like a calm moment suddenly turns intense when a tiger steps onto the road. It moves with calm confidence, glancing at the campers and walking dangerously close along the path, every step powerful and deliberate. The forest falls completely silent, as if the entire wilderness is holding its breath. No birds, no wind, only the presence of the tiger and the frozen visitors. What was meant to be a peaceful camping experience instantly becomes a moment of pure tension, balanced between awe and fear. Long after the tiger passes, its presence lingers in the mind, a reminder of the wild's raw and unpredictable power. If a predator like this can appear so suddenly in daylight, even while camping, would you know whether to stay still or make a move? This incredible clip was uploaded on Puberty's Instagram. Two friends were camping near a river, surrounded by ice and snow during a cold winter day. The riverbanks were frozen, and the world seemed calm and quiet under the low winter sun. They set up their campsite, enjoying the serene, icy landscape, completely unaware of the danger building upstream. Suddenly, they noticed something unusual: a large surge of water coming from the river, carrying chunks of ice with it. The ice dam upstream had given way, and the water, trapped for hours, rushed downstream with incredible force. Sheets of ice cracked and tumbled into the river, creating a powerful, roaring surge. The campers watched in shock as the icy torrent swept along, carrying massive chunks of frozen water that could have easily destroyed anything in its path. It was a chilling reminder of how quickly nature can change. A peaceful river can turn into a dangerous flood in moments, and survival often comes down to awareness and quick action. Adventure is thrilling, but in the wild, you have to respect the forces around you. So, when you camp near icy rivers or streams, would you risk staying when nature decides to unleash its power? This incredible clip was uploaded on Sapavago's Instagram. Someone went camping in a park near a forest in Yosemite National Park, California, on December 26, 2025. The day was calm, with light rain falling, and the campsite felt peaceful. But as they stepped out of their camper, something caught their eye. A beautiful, wild bobcat, quietly moving through the trees nearby. The animal was stunning, but anyone who has spent time in the wilderness knows that wild cats, even small ones like a bobcat, can be dangerous. For a brief moment, the camper and the bobcat crossed paths, standing just feet apart. The tension was high. Every move mattered, but fortunately, neither was harmed. The encounter was unforgettable, a thrilling reminder that in the wild, beauty and danger often come hand in hand. It's moments like these that make you respect the forest. Even on a calm day, the wilderness is unpredictable, and encounters with wildlife can shift from awe-inspiring to dangerous in seconds. So, the real question is, if you came face to face with a wild predator like this, would you stay calm or run for your life? This terrifying clip was uploaded on Imankulit's TikTok and shows a group of friends who went camping in a forest along a mountainside, guided by a local tourist guide. Recent rain had soaked the ground, making every step slippery and tense. As they moved deeper into the forest, one of them, John, suddenly cried out in pain, clutching his eye and calling for help. When the group looked closer, they realized something alive was moving inside his eye. Panic spread instantly. They tried to remove it, but whatever it was refused to come out. John screamed in fear and pain as his friend struggled, unsure of what they were dealing with. After a long and terrifying moment, they finally managed to remove it safely. Relief washed over the group, but the fear stayed with them. If something so small and unexpected can turn a camping trip into a nightmare, would you know how to react? A few people went camping on a beach on a sunny day. The shoreline looked calm and inviting, but the ocean was hiding a dangerous secret. One of them noticed a massive wave approaching from the distance and quickly realized it was no ordinary surf. It was a sneaker wave, the kind that can surge far beyond the normal waterline, pulling everything in its path back into the sea. As the wave barreled toward the campers, they scrambled toward higher ground, filming the unfolding chaos. Another wave came, striking even closer, and two of the group were caught by the sudden surge. Fortunately, a brave companion rushed in to help, pulling them to safety just in time. The rest of the group watched in shock as the ocean displayed its raw, unpredictable power. After the wave retreated, it was unclear if everyone was unharmed, leaving a chilling reminder of the ocean's deadly potential. Calm waters can be deceiving. Sneaker waves strike without warning, faster than anyone can run, and the ocean never asks permission before it turns deadly. Adventure can be breathtaking, but respect for the water and quick thinking can save your life. So the question remains, would you recognize the danger before it's too late?
This hiker really put his life on the line just to catch a better view. He inched his way toward the edge of a mountain cliff, like 100 feet straight down, despite everyone around telling him it wasn't a good idea. And then it happened. He slipped. He fell hard off the cliff, hitting the ground so badly he couldn't even stand up afterward.
Just come back, man.
Just come back.
Oh yeah, I'll come back sometime. Oh, this is fucking beautiful.
It is, but...
Hey, no native cries, girl.
Oh shit, is he okay? Wait. Dude.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh shit, man.
No,
Don't look at it. You smoke.
don't look.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, we told him to come back up. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. We need a call. You have your phone. Get your phone.
Helicopter is out. Here.
Give me a call. Oh my gosh.
Dumbass.
Oh my god, we. Baby girl.
There's no back here.
Oh my gosh.
That moment alone was enough to send everyone watching into a state of panic. You could literally feel the fear in their voices. Imagine risking your life just for a photo or a view. That's a bold move, but also a scary one. Thankfully, he survived, but I doubt he'll ever try something like that again. Deep in the forest, a lone hiker's peaceful trek took a terrifying turn. Out of the shadows, a massive moose emerged, its enormous antlers casting an imposing silhouette. Every step it took seemed to shake the ground beneath. Heart racing, the hiker froze, pressing against the rough bark of a nearby tree, barely daring to breathe. The moose's dark eyes scanned the surroundings, sensing every movement, every sound. Time seemed to stretch, each second dripping with tension. Then, as suddenly as it appeared, the giant creature turned and disappeared into the dense woods. What could have ended in disaster passed quietly, but the haunting presence of the moose lingered, a reminder of nature's raw, unpredictable power. This person was out in the woods just recording the scenery when things took a wild turn. Out of nowhere, he spots this massive boulder rolling through the forest like it's nothing. No push, no trigger, just a giant rock casually cruising between trees. Now imagine being a hiker in that same spot, not hearing it, not seeing it, just minding your business, and then boom, a whole boulder comes flying your way. That's the kind of thing that turns a peaceful hike into a near-death experience real quick. The rock eventually stopped, but the moment, absolutely terrifying and weird at the same time, nature sometimes does its own thing. This Reddit user was out hiking when she witnessed something she never knew was even possible. Out of nowhere, a massive bear started climbing a tree, and not slowly. It shot up that trunk like it had rockets in its paws. She stood there frozen, realizing she had severely underestimated how fast bears can move, and how quietly they can appear.
Whoa.
She didn't stick around to make eye contact either, because once a bear locks eyes with you, you never know if it's curious or ready to switch into full aggression mode. So she backed away slowly, heart pounding, and slipped out of the area before things took a very dark turn. A reminder, in the wild, you're never as alone as you think. On a slick, rain-soaked mountain, a hiker's adventure turned into a fight for survival. One wrong step sent him tumbling down the steep slope, sliding uncontrollably toward what seemed like certain death. The world became a blur of mud and rocks, every second stretching endlessly. Just when it felt hopeless, a sturdy tree caught him, halting the terrifying slide. Heart pounding, he sat there, trembling, as images of his life flashed before his eyes. The narrow escape left him shaken, a vivid reminder of how quickly nature can turn deadly. After surviving such a harrowing ordeal, the thought of anyone else facing the same nightmare is unbearable. A moment of thrill became a memory of sheer terror. This guy was cruising along a quiet trail, just enjoying his ride, when something completely unexpected happened. Out of the side bushes, a whole motorcycle suddenly slammed onto the trail, like it dropped straight out of nowhere. The clip cuts off right after, so nobody really knows what happened to the rider or how the bike ended up launching out of the woods like that. But imagine actually being there, riding peacefully, and then a full-size bike comes crashing out of the bushes beside you. Your heart would jump out of your chest. The whole moment feels eerie, like something went very wrong just out of sight. It's one of those clips that leaves you with more questions than answers. A group of friends set out for what they thought would be a peaceful hike, surrounded by the calm beauty of the wilderness. But nature had other plans. Suddenly, they stumbled upon a patch of quicksand-like mud, thick and sticky, that trapped their feet with a terrifying grip. Panic set in as they struggled to pull free, each movement making it worse. Laughter bubbled up nervously, masking the fear, as they realized how close they came to being stuck completely.
Hold on.
Wait, David!
We're just digging out, but you just can't pull it right out. Wiggle that foot.
You have to get out there. Okay. My shoe isn't coming with me.
Well, you may be shoeless.
I thought my leg wasn't gonna get out without being broken. It literally felt stuck like cement around it.
like quicksand.
Yeah. There we go.
Katie, there's your shoe. It's better than having nothing.
Can I just sit down?
What started as an exciting adventure quickly turned into a test of patience, strength, and wits. By the time they escaped, relief mixed with lingering unease, proof that even the most innocent hike can take a dark, unexpected turn. This hiker took living on the edge way too literally. She climbed all the way up a mountain and then casually sat right on the cliff's edge, nothing in front of her but open air and thousands of feet of straight drop. One wrong move, one slip, and that's it. Game over. She's just sitting there, legs dangling like she's on a park bench, enjoying the view while everyone watching is having a mini heart attack. It's beautiful, sure, but also the kind of thing that makes your palms sweat just looking at it. Honestly, no hike is worth flirting with gravity like that. Some risks are just way too real. This guy was riding his bike deep in the woods, just enjoying the trail when out of nowhere, boom! A massive angry bear charged straight at him. No warning, no time to think, just raw panic. His bike fell. He was trying to outrun it, but the bear was fast. Way too fast. Then, out of pure luck, the bike made this loud rattling noise, metal clanking, engine whining, and somehow that startled the bear enough to make it back off. One weird sound saved his life, but imagine for a second the bike stayed. Silent. No noise, no scare factor. Just him. Alone. In the middle of the woods with an aggressive bear coming full speed. That could have ended very differently. Sometimes survival really comes down to pure luck. While exploring a national park, a group of hikers faced nature's sudden fury. Approaching a river crossing, the calm water turned treacherous in an instant. A flash flood surged, its raw power threatening to sweep them away.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Jump, jump.
Just in time. That is absolutely insane. We literally just got out like 2 minutes ago.
Hearts pounding, they fought against the relentless current, barely keeping their footing. Every second felt like a lifetime as the river's force grew stronger, pulling at their legs and testing their strength. With sheer determination, they managed to drag themselves to safety just before the waters became unstoppable. The near miss left them shaken, a stark reminder of how quickly adventure can turn into danger. This Reddit user was out hiking when he stumbled onto something seriously unsettling. In the middle of the quiet woods, tucked inside a hollow tree, he found a giant dried fish head, just sitting there like it was placed on purpose. Who does that? Why would anyone haul a huge fish head all the way into the forest and hide it inside a tree? The more you think about it, the creepier it gets. Was it some kind of ritual, a warning, or something way stranger, something you're not supposed to see? One thing's for sure, finding that in the woods would send chills down anyone's spine. This Reddit user thought she was in for a peaceful camping night, until everything changed. Around midnight, she heard heavy footsteps outside her tent, slow, deep, deliberate. When she peeked through the fabric, her heart nearly stopped. A massive bear had wandered out of the woods, sniffing around like it was searching for its next meal. She froze. No sound, no movement, just pure panic. Every rustle of the bear's breathing felt like it was inches from her. All she could do was sit there in complete silence, praying the creature wouldn't notice her scent. This hiker took on one of the most terrifying trails imaginable, a narrow mountain ridge with nothing but sheer drops on either side. The top was so thin that a single misstep could mean certain disaster. The jagged, rocky path demanded every ounce of focus, making each step feel like a test of nerve and skill. Yet, instead of turning back, he pressed forward, drawn by the adrenaline and the breathtaking, terrifying views stretching endlessly below. Every gust of wind, every shift of loose rock made his heart pound harder. It was beautiful and deadly. Would anyone dare hike a trail where one slip could be fatal? Could you face the ridge knowing the mountain waits for the smallest mistake? During a routine hike, this man never expected his peaceful walk to turn into a heart-stopping moment. Out of nowhere, a massive alligator, far bigger than anything he'd ever seen, crawled right across his trail. It was huge, powerful, and close enough that he could hear its claws scraping the ground. He froze, barely even breathing, choosing to record the moment rather than risk a single wrong move. Thankfully, the giant creature went into the lake beside the trail and disappeared beneath the water, but the question still lingers. What if it hadn't? What if that beast had decided to charge instead of walk away? Out in the wild, one unexpected encounter can change everything in a split second. This person's mother was out hiking when she stumbled upon something she'd never seen before. A group of huge, shaggy animals wandering casually across the trail. Confused and amazed, she pulled out her phone to record them, knowing she might never get a moment like this again. When she shared the video online, people quickly identified the mystery creatures, Scottish Highland cattle. Known for their long horns and thick, fluffy coats, these gentle giants are one of the oldest cattle breeds in the world, originally from the rugged Highlands of Scotland. Imagine turning a corner on your peaceful hike and seeing that staring back at you. Would you walk closer for a better look or slowly back away? While camping alone in the woods, this camper experienced a moment straight out of a nightmare. In the middle of the night, while lying quietly inside his tent, strange movement began circling around him. Footsteps. Slow, deliberate, shuffling through the leaves.
All the time, as well as okay, that was weird. What are the odds something just walks next to us?
Okay, got it.
Something was outside, close enough that he could almost feel it leaning in, stalking the thin fabric between them. He didn't dare move, didn't dare breathe too loudly. He just stayed frozen, hoping whatever lurked outside would lose interest and drift back into the darkness. Minutes felt like hours until the sounds finally faded away. Was it an animal? A person? Something else entirely? Out here in the woods, sometimes silence is the only thing keeping you safe. While hiking along a quiet forest trail, she suddenly froze. Hanging from the branch of a tree was something unnerving, a strange figure made of sticks and husks wrapped with a red cloth. It swung gently in the breeze, almost as if it had been placed there on purpose. Watching. She didn't dare touch it. She simply recorded it and moved on, heart racing. When she posted the video online, people claimed it looked like a handmade corn husk doll, the kind some believe is used for warding off spirits, or inviting them. But who put it there? And why in the middle of the woods? If you stumbled upon something like this, would you investigate or leave immediately? While hiking deep into the woods on a camping trip, this camper suddenly heard gunshots echoing through the trees. Nothing was visible, no hunters, no movement, just the sharp cracks of gunfire rolling across the forest. He froze, listening, unsure whether to turn back or keep going.
There it goes again. It's gonna be 4. And so it's like a really weird place to shoot. I think the trail goes that way. Maybe it's just me being paranoid, but I have like a weird feeling. Why the fuck are you shooting right off trail? Only 4 shots. Maybe he only has a 4-shot gun. You can hear him moving. It's not. I'm just like sketched out, like a little weirded out.
Eventually the woods went quiet again, so he continued toward his campsite, hoping the rest of his trip would stay peaceful. But the night had one more surprise waiting. Out of nowhere, a goat wandered into his camp and refused to leave.
I've been here for like 6 hours, and this is now the 2nd time I've had this guy here. Hey goat. Hey goat. How you doing, bud? What you doing here, man? What's going on? Why do you keep coming back? Bro, I'm trying to scare you out of here. I have a fire and everything. I'm sorry, man.
Even after he scared it off, it kept coming back, staring at him like it owned the place. After the gunshots and the uninvited visitor, would you stay another night in a forest like that? While this hiker was miles deep into the forest, far from any trailheads or other people, he stumbled upon something truly unsettling. Hanging from a tree was a small wooden cabin, but not an ordinary one. Inside it were 2 eerie dolls staring outward, positioned as if they were watching the woods. The moment he saw them, the air felt heavier. Every rustle, every snap of a twig made him look over his shoulder. It felt like the forest suddenly had eyes. Who put those dolls there? And what were they meant to monitor? A warning, a ritual, a prank gone too far? From that point on, his peaceful hike turned into a nerve-wracking journey back to safety. Something wild happened while this group was out on a river, just cruising and enjoying the ride, until suddenly a massive hippo burst out of the water and started charging straight at their boat. It wasn't just following, it was chasing them hard, like it wanted to flip the entire boat over. For a moment, panic took over. The only thing between them and disaster was the speed of their small boat, and thankfully it was just fast enough for the hippo's huge body to fall behind. Eventually the angry giant disappeared back into the water and they escaped unharmed. But imagine if it had caught up. What would happen if a creature that powerful got close enough to make contact? While this person was hiking deep inside the forest, he spotted something that made him stop in his tracks. At first, it looked like just another old tree, until he moved closer. The shape in the bark formed what looked exactly like a skull, hollow eyes, a nose cavity, and even the outline of teeth. It felt almost like the face of something or someone was trapped inside the wood, silently watching him. He quickly took a picture and shared it online, and instantly people had questions. Was it natural? A strange growth pattern? A tree disease? Or could it be something more mysterious hidden in the forest's history? What would you do if you saw a tree staring back at you? This hiker set out for a peaceful day on the trail, but it quickly turned into a fight for survival. As he moved deeper into the woods, he reached a section of the trail swallowed by thick, slick mud. One step in, and the ground beneath him turned to a slippery trap. His boots slid, his balance vanished, and every movement felt like a battle to stay upright. With nothing solid to hold on to, he had to dig deep, steady his breath, and fight his way forward inch by inch. What should have been a simple hike suddenly became a test of strength and composure. Would you keep pushing through, or turn back when the trail itself becomes your biggest enemy? A Reddit user shared a photo that has everyone talking. The story goes like this. A couple visited a state park in West Virginia during the off-season. The park ranger mentioned they were the only visitors that entire week. No one else had been there for a long time. At the top of the mountain, they snapped a picture beside a stone pillar. But here's the strange part. Behind that pillar, there should have been nothing, just a steep drop straight into the woods below. Yet in the photo, there's something that looks exactly like a hand gripping the side of the pillar. So what is it? A shadow? A trick of the light? Or did something else make it up the mountain with them? While a group of friends were hiking deep in the wild, their adventure took a terrifying turn. Out of nowhere, a massive grizzly bear appeared on their trail, close enough that they could hear its breathing. No one dared move, no shouting, no running. They all knew one wrong reaction could be seen as a threat, and with a bear that size, there's no predicting what might happen next.
What?
So they stood frozen, watching the creature circle and stare as if deciding what to do with them. Minutes stretched into nearly an hour, the tension growing heavier with every step the bear took. Eventually the giant wandered off, leaving them shaken. But imagine being stuck like that. Would you stay calm or panic? While hiking through a quiet forest trail, he suddenly froze in disbelief. There it was, pure white and almost unreal, moving silently across the path.
No way. That's an albino buck. Wow. Unbelievable.
The rare deer showed no fear, calmly stepping past him before vanishing back into the trees as if it had never been there at all. Encounters like this are incredibly rare. Albino deer are among the most uncommon sights in the wild, making this moment nothing short of extraordinary. This photo was taken during a winter hike on January 22nd, 2009, at exactly 11:10 a.m. At first glance, it looks harmless, a lone person walking through a silent, snow-covered forest. Nothing seemed unusual when the picture was taken, but later, when the image was examined more closely, something chilling appeared in the distance. Hidden behind the trees was a figure. It was unnaturally tall, humanoid in shape, yet far too large to be any ordinary person. Its proportions didn't make sense, and its presence felt wrong, like it didn't belong there at all. Was this simply an elaborate Slender Man-style hoax, or did the camera capture something truly unsettling lurking in the forest that day? After wrapping up a peaceful fishing trip, TikTok creator Link Sangler began walking home, cutting straight through a field of cows. At first, they didn't move. They just stood there, silently watching him. Everything felt calm until it wasn't. One step later, the cows started moving, slowly, then faster. Within seconds, curiosity turned into chaos. The entire herd charged.
Young bull. Hey, what's up with all these cows following me? It's like I'm getting chased out of the field, mate. Oh damn. What the fuck? I'm actually getting chased by cows and I'm not even fucking joking.
Heart racing, he sprinted for the fence as the cows closed in. Just in time, he vaulted over, escaping the field and the stampede behind him. What started as a quiet walk home nearly turned into a full-blown nightmare. A man in Kentucky was out walking when he suddenly noticed something strange. A deep, steady thumping coming from beneath the ground. At first, he wasn't sure if it was real. Weeks later, he finally heard it again and started recording.
I finally found it again after like 3 weeks. Listen to this. I don't know if you can hear it or not. It's pretty windy. Wow. It's getting louder.
The sound was unmistakable, rhythmic, powerful, almost mechanical, yet nothing on the surface could explain it. No construction, no equipment, no obvious source. He uploaded the recording, and it didn't take long for theories to flood in. Some believe it was underground machinery, tunnel work, pipelines, or something industrial. Others think it points to something hidden deep below the earth, something we're not meant to see. A few suggest it could be natural pressure building underground. However, no one really knows where that sound came from. A group of friends was relaxing at a secluded cabin deep in the woods. The night was calm, laughter, casual filming, nothing but silence around them. Then they heard something moving outside. Curious, they stepped out to investigate.
I fucking love this.
Go. That's so crazy. Look at that fucker right there.
Hi, buddy.
Oh my.
Out of nowhere, a massive bear came charging straight at them. Panic exploded. They sprinted back inside and slammed the door just in time. They went out looking for nature, and nature almost answered a little too, aggressively. One day in Mexico, an eerie sound rolled through the sky. Deep, metallic, almost like a trumpet echoing from the heavens. Dogs began barking frantically, birds burst from their perches, and people stepped outside, confused and uneasy, trying to understand what they were hearing. The noise was loud, lingering, and deeply unsettling. Some claimed it was a natural phenomenon, air pressure shifts, metal structures vibrating, or movement beneath the ground. Others believed it was something far more mysterious, beyond science and explanation. To this day, no one has ever confirmed where the sound truly came from. A local in Parbesi, Indonesia, recently shared a video that left people seriously unsettled. The footage appears to show a thick black mass suddenly descending into the middle of a rice field, almost like a cloud crashing to the ground.
Awan ini mah, awan hitam. Budah. Budah awan ini. Awan ini, awan hitam. Nah. Busa. Bau.
Online, the debate exploded. Some viewers insisted it wasn't a cloud at all, but something closer to toxic foam, pointing out how heavy and unnatural it looked and how dangerous it could be. Others had their own theories, but no one could explain how it formed or where it came from. Whatever it was, it definitely didn't look natural. There has to be a scientific explanation, but for now, it remains a mystery. While rock hounding in the Oihi Mountains, a Reddit user known as Imperial Fragments noticed something unsettling in the distance. Standing atop a rocky formation was a dark, upright figure, shaped like someone wearing a pale robe and gripping what looked eerily like a staff. Startled, the user snapped a single photo. When they looked up again, the figure had completely vanished. Shaken, they shared the image on Reddit, asking the community if anyone had an explanation. Speculation poured in until one commenter offered an oddly specific guess. It might be Hinzel, a wizard-themed TikTok creator from Ohio, known for wandering the area with a staff. Then came the twist. Hinzel himself appeared in the comments and confirmed it was, in fact, him in the photo. Mystery solved. Proof that sometimes the internet really does turn the strangest encounters into surprisingly wholesome explanations. A group of hikers was carefully crossing a narrow gap between two towering cliffs when one of them started filming. Suddenly, everything went wrong.
Whoa!
In a split second, one climber slipped and nearly plunged into the gorge, left dangling by nothing but their backup gear. Panic set in as they hung suspended over the drop. Just in time, two climbers on the opposite side rushed in, grabbing hold and pulling them back up inch by inch. Against all odds, they made it back to solid ground. A terrifying moment, and a very close call. Leonardo was live streaming late at night in Mexicali, Mexico, when something disturbing appeared behind him on camera. At first it was barely noticeable, but then it moved. Unnaturally. The stream caught Leonardo stumbling over his words, clearly shaken.
Lo voy a hacer en vivo porque luego dicen, ya me asustó el gato, lo dicen que es mentiras, pero miren, estoy acá fuera del yunque y miren lo que se mira. No sé si cansan a mirar ustedes, pero mira, me arrimo. Mira. Se mira, es eso.
In the background, a strange, shadowy figure seemed to shift on its own, something that didn't look like it belonged there at all. Leonardo later insisted it wasn't a person, not a thief, not anyone he recognized. It was something else, something he couldn't explain.
Mira, se mete. Y no son rateros porque ya corrí para atrás, me metí con la troca y cada vez que me arrimo...
Was it a ghost? A djinn? or something far more unsettling? To this day, no one knows what Leonardo truly captured on that live stream. Recently surfaced footage from Bohemian Grove has reignited chilling questions. Men dressed in long robes march through the darkness, torches blazing. Behind them, guards stand watch, armed with bows and swords. Looming above it all is an altar, and the massive stone owl. The robed figures disappear into the shadows only to return carrying something. At first, it's hard to tell what it is. Panic sets in. Are they sacrificing someone? Some believe it could be a person caught sneaking into the ceremony. No one knows for sure, but whatever they were carrying, it didn't look right. They place it on a small boat. The flames flicker. The chanting continues. Then the footage abruptly cuts to black. So what exactly was happening that night? Was it symbolic, or something far more sinister? And the real question remains, are they still performing this ritual today? A TikTok user spotted something unusual on their porch. A massive spider had claimed one corner as its own. But the real shock came one day when the wind chime stopped tinkling. Curious, they went to investigate and discovered delicate strands of web stretched taut around it.
Y'all ain't gonna believe this. I got this spider. Lived in the corner of my porch. Big old sucker, got his legs tucked in. And I guess my wind chime was bothering him. Because he done tied my wind chime up, y'all. To the house and to that.
Somehow the spider had tied up the wind chime, almost as if the sound had been disturbing its peace. A lone hiker was trekking through a quiet stretch of the Appalachian woods. The trail was still, too still, until he heard it. A voice, soft and chilling, whispered, "I see you." He froze, scanning the trees but saw nothing. No movement, no footprints, no sign of anyone. Heart pounding, he turned and ran. Thankfully, the footage surfaced online, so we can only assume he made it out alive. But the question lingers, what or who was out there with him that day? A hiker exploring the Devil's Tree in Port St. Lucie stumbled upon a chilling scene.
Is there a bunch of pictures out here with people's names on them? Kevin, Erica Canty. I'm in the Devil's Tree Forest, whatever it is. I don't even fucking know. This is really weird.
Scattered around the gnarled roots were photographs of strangers, some torn, some singed at the edges with names scrawled across them. The eerie tableau raised unsettling questions. Why were these photos left here? Who brought them to this isolated forest? And was this the mark of some dark ritual, or something far more sinister? In 1998, a family went hiking in the Dakang Mountains near Taichung, an area whispered about by locals for sightings of a mysterious girl who seemed to bring misfortune. Eager to capture memories of their trip, the family filmed their adventure, but what they recorded would haunt them forever. Shortly after the hike, tragedy struck. One family member died, and another fell gravely ill before passing away as well. When relatives reviewed the footage, they were shocked. A small girl dressed in red appeared in the background, her face dark and shadowed. No one remembered seeing her that day. Even more chilling, one of the deceased family members appeared on camera with sharp, fang-like teeth, though their real teeth were perfectly normal. Desperate for answers, the family sent the tape to a paranormal TV show. Investigators spoke with locals, monks and experts, but no one could identify the girl. One boy recounted that he had once tried to follow her into the forest, but she vanished before he could reach her. The story spread across Taiwan as the terrifying legend of the little girl in red, and later inspired the 2015 horror film The Tag Along. While hiking late at night, a man suddenly noticed something chilling ahead.
Things you don't want to see looking at you at night. See the eyes? I see you. Yep.
There, deep in the darkness, a pair of glowing eyes stared straight back at him. his body locked up. For a split second, his mind raced, unsure of what could be watching him from the forest. Heart pounding, he slowly moved closer, and that's when the fear faded. It wasn't anything sinister after all, just a small group of deer standing silently beside the trail, their eyes reflecting the light as they calmly watched him pass. Still, that first moment, absolutely terrifying. A Reddit user recently posted an old photo their grandma took years ago at Gettysburg Cemetery, and it sparked a lot of debate. The user leans toward a simple explanation, saying it's probably just a sun flare. Still, there's something about the image that's hard to ignore. In the photo, a strange figure appears to hover over a gravestone, looking eerily like a bald man's spirit. Some people argue the figure looks too modern, almost as if it's wearing a jacket and jeans, while others insist it resembles an old uniform. Despite the theories, many viewers agree it's likely nothing more than a trick of the light, but once you see it, it's hard not to wonder. What do you think? A Reddit user recently shared a chilling clip of a raven, and it instantly sent shivers through viewers. The bird clearly mimics human speech, even laughing at the end, which made it especially disturbing. To many people, it felt less like a bird and more like a person trapped inside one, or something dark trying to imitate humans.
Сейчас очень много снимается сказок. Русь, ты меня перебиваешь. Ты в курсе?
Конечно. Конечно.
Here's the rational explanation though. Just like parrots, ravens are incredibly intelligent and have advanced vocal abilities. If they're exposed to human voices often enough, they can learn to copy words, tones, and even laughter. Still, there's something far more unsettling about a raven doing this than a parrot. Now imagine encountering this in the wild, alone. And what exactly was it saying? In 2018, a hiker caught something unsettling on camera while trekking through the woods. The creature in the video crawled on all fours, completely hairless, moving in a way that felt wrong.
Stop, Holden.
It didn't look like any animal people were used to seeing. When a similar image surfaced online in 2019, the internet ran wild. Some claimed it was proof of mythical creatures like the skunk ape or something even more sinister hiding in the forests. The real explanation, though, was far less mysterious, but just as disturbing. It was a black bear suffering from severe hair loss, likely caused by mange or another serious skin disease. When bears lose their fur, they can't regulate body heat, grow weak, and often don't survive long in the wild. Still, it's easy to understand the panic. If you stumbled across a hairless, crawling figure like that in the woods, your mind would probably jump to something supernatural too. The couple thought they'd found peace when they moved into a secluded home deep in the Appalachian Mountains. But not long after settling in, that calm began to unravel. Strange noises echoed through the woods, voices carried where no one should have been.
POV, you moved into a house in the Appalachian Mountains and woke up to this the next morning.
Their dogs, normally relaxed, grew anxious, staring into the darkness and refusing to settle. Then came the moment that shattered any doubt. One morning, they noticed a face pressed into the condensation on their back door window, clear enough to tell that someone had been standing there, silently watching from the other side. In a place so remote, so cut off from the world, the realization was terrifying. If no one was supposed to be there, then who was? A TikToker headed out to her barn late at night to feed her animals. Nothing unusual, until everything changed.
Okay, Dad, she is fed and feisty. What are you doing, baby? Okay, so I fed her. I will feed the barn. Okay.
As she scanned the darkness, a pale, ghost-like figure appeared, standing perfectly still in the shadows. She paused, her body tense, then forced herself to walk away as calmly as she could. Once she reached her car, panic set in. Her keys were gone. Moments later, she found them lying right behind the vehicle, a place she swore she never dropped them.
Okay. Oh my god. Stop!
That's where the video cuts off. Some people believe it was staged, others think she encountered a mimic. But anyone familiar with the Appalachian Mountains knows that things out there don't always have simple explanations. A user going by Superman8078 was walking past an abandoned house in Ohio when he casually snapped a quick photo. Nothing seemed unusual at the time, but later, while looking back at the image, something unsettling caught his eye. A shape in the window that looked eerily like a face staring out. Was it just shadows and light playing tricks, or something far more mysterious? Unsure what to think, he shared the photo online and asked others for their opinions. So, what do you see? Morgan Lambert, who lives deep in the Appalachian Mountains, woke up to something unsettling. A sharp, clear whistle echoing outside her cabin. She admitted she'd made one mistake, opening her window for fresh air.
Just saying good morning. This has been happening for like 10 minutes.
The sound wasn't coming from any visible person or animal. It drifted in from the woods, repeating over and over with no clear source. That's when the warnings came to mind. Appalachian folklore says you should never respond to whistles in the forest. Some believe they're meant to lure people off their path. Others say answering them draws the attention of something that's already watching.
Like, I don't know if you caught what I said. It's morning, it's daytime. And Girlie made the mistake of opening up her window when she woke up to get some fresh air.
Whatever it was, the woods kept whistling, and Morgan stayed inside, window shut, listening. Deep in the Appalachian Mountains, a hidden trail camera captured something no one expected. While reviewing the footage, the owner noticed a dark, seemingly hair-covered figure moving silently between the trees. Its shape didn't match any known wildlife native to the region. So what was it? Had the camera recorded an unknown presence wandering the Appalachian forest? YouTuber Frankly One and his brother once ventured into an abandoned cemetery, a place left to rot and forgotten by time. They filmed their eerie exploration, sharing every chilling moment with their viewers, until something unexpected happened. As they pushed through the overgrown grass, a strange glimmer caught their eyes. Between the twisted trees stood a figure, holding a lantern that seemed to belong to a bygone era. Heart racing, they trained the camera on it, but the moment they looked away, the figure vanished into the shadows. After that night, the channel went silent. Some say what they saw scared them into stopping forever. Others whisper that something far darker might have befallen them. To this day, no one knows for sure. It remains a mystery. While out on a hike, a Reddit user stumbled upon something bizarre. An entire hillside blanketed with garden gnomes, each one meticulously positioned and all staring in nearly the same direction. The discovery went viral, sparking thousands of guesses about who put them there and why. But despite all the speculation, the mystery of their origin was never solved. Back in 2016, a camera hidden deep in the North American wilderness captured a chilling figure. Tall, unnervingly thin, with a distorted head and hollow, empty features. It looked neither human nor animal. When the image surfaced online, some hailed it as proof of the legendary Wendigo, while others dismissed it as a clever hoax or Photoshop trick. With so few details available, skepticism is natural, but what if it's real? Late one night, while heading back from a hike, a man stumbled upon something unsettling hidden inside a tree. A tiny, handmade figure, crafted from twigs and string. Curiosity got the better of him. He pulled it out, snapped a photo, and then did the unthinkable. He brought it home. As soon as he shared it online, warnings began to flood in. "Don't touch that," people said. "It's cursed." Undeterred, the man later posted an update. He was fine and planned to place it on a shelf as a quirky decoration, but the internet was unconvinced. Some things, they insisted, should never leave the woods. Some mysteries are best left undisturbed. While driving home, someone noticed something truly unsettling and decided to film it.
Eric, there's too much traffic on. I swear to God, if you don't. Roll the window up.
From the edge of the woods, a figure emerged, moving in an unnaturally twisted way, its face completely obscured. From afar, it almost appeared headless. In this small town, where everyone knows everyone, and there are no homeless people, the sight was chilling. No one could identify it, and no one dared get closer. What if it wasn't even human? She slipped in the rocky stream, tumbling toward the waterfall. The rocks were jagged, slick with rushing water, and she barely missed hitting her head. Her body skidded and twisted, the force of the current threatening to drag her over the edge. Another lady rushed to help, but in an instant she too lost her footing, falling forward with a splash. The first woman reached out, gripping her hand, but even that wasn't enough. The narrow ledges offered no mercy. What if they had both tumbled all the way down the mountain? What if the current pulled them into the jagged rocks below? The mind races imagining shattered bones, broken limbs, and the roar of water swallowing them whole. She walks alone on a narrow trail high in the snowy mountains. No roads reach this place, no cars, no people, just endless white and a cold wind that won't stop. Her eyes are already teary as she lifts her phone to record, her breath shaky. She feels lonely, exposed, and afraid. She keeps walking, hoping to see footprints or a figure ahead. Nothing. The snow is untouched. The silence feels wrong. The wind grows stronger, her steps slow. The ground shifts beneath her feet.
Fucked. This is what I have to climb, and look how deep that snow is. And I can't go all the way back to where I came because it's like way too long. It's all the way up there, then all the way up that ski lift, and then all the way across to there. I can't do this.
Did she slip on ice? Did fear make her lose balance? Or did something unseen happen to her? The video cuts out. But what if she didn't fall on her own? She walks along the edge of the mountain, the path narrow and uneven beneath her feet. Loose gravel shifts with every step, reminding her how easy it would be to fall. One wrong move, one small trip, and she knew she wouldn't stop until the mountain ended below. She forces herself not to look down. The fear is instant and sharp, tightening her chest.
No. No. Oh my god, this is literally terrifying. This is literally so terrifying. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm over here. Oh my god.
The wind brushes past her, light but unsettling like a warning. Her heart pounds, caught between terror and a dark curiosity. How far is the drop? Why does the edge feel like it's pulling her closer? She keeps walking, slow and careful, knowing how thin the line is between standing and disappearing. The deeper he walks into the woods, the quieter it gets. Curiosity mixes with fear. Then he notices the stems shaking, something huge moving between the trees. A shadow looms, almost like King Kong, but unclear. He runs without looking back, heart pounding. He doesn't know if it's following or watching from behind. Every step feels dangerous. Will it catch him? Or will he stumble before he ever knows? He's hiking at night, filming his path through thick woods and tangled bushes. Every rustle, every shadow feels amplified. The camera shakes in his hands as fear creeps in. Then he stops, turns slowly. There it is, a massive figure looming in the darkness. He can't tell what it is. He screams, and then silence.
Tengok si anjing! Goblok ngejar anjing! Goblok ngejar! Anjing! Goblok! Ngejar, Cok! Ngejar! Ngejar, Cok!
Did it turn toward him? Did it follow? Or was it something else entirely, watching, waiting? The footage ends before answers come. They were hiking at night, moving through thick, eerie bushes that seemed to gather in shadows. The group stuck close, every rustle making their hearts pound. Then, far ahead, they saw something red. They had to zoom their cameras to make sense of it. At first it was still, but suddenly it shot upward, rising like a human, or like an angel. They all screamed. After that, nothing is certain. Did it follow them? Did they find their way back, or are they still lost in the dark with the red figure watching? He hiked alone, the forest quiet except for his footsteps. Then he noticed it. Fresh blood smeared along the trail. His heart raced. Fear gripped him, but he kept praising God step by trembling step, trying not to look too closely. Then he saw something ahead, something dark, twisted, moving in the shadows.
Jadi kepalanya teman-teman. Astagfirullah. 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 Allahu Akbar. Astagfirullahaladzim. Allahumma sholli ala sayyidina kepala. Allahu Akbar.
Did he collapse in terror, or did he somehow find the strength to keep walking? Nobody knows for sure. Only the blood marks remain. A group of adventurous hikers decided to try the giant swing, a daring game where a rope harness holds you as you fall, swinging over the forest floor. One by one they climbed, laughed and jumped, trusting the rope to catch them just before hitting the ground. But what if the rope suddenly cut? What if someone fainted mid-air, losing all control? The thought made their laughter stutter. Cookies and rice they had brought for snacks sat forgotten on the ground, tiny witnesses to the risk above. Would the rope hold? Or would the forest claim its own that day? A lady carefully stepped onto the wooden bridge, the planks swaying with every movement. The ropes creaked and stretched under her weight, making each step feel uncertain. Panic spread across her face as she moved forward, afraid the bridge might give way. What if her plank snapped? What if she lost her balance and fell onto the rocks below? Her heart pounded, hands gripping the ropes for dear life. Finally she reached the other side. Relief washed over her, though for a moment everyone wondered what could have happened if the fragile bridge had betrayed her mid-crossing. A man filmed as he descended a staircase that seemed to go on forever. The steps were tiny, narrow and uneven, stretching down into a dense thicket of bushes below. Around him, Other people were moving slowly, one by one, step by careful step. Every glance downward made his stomach tighten. What if he slipped? What if someone ahead fell, causing a chain reaction? Could they all tumble into the bushes below? The crowd pressed forward cautiously, each person waiting for the one in front. The staircase felt endless, tense, and fragile. A slow, nerve-wracking descent where every step seemed to hold a dangerous secret. Imagine hikers cliff camping during a storm, wind screaming, rain lashing, the rocks slick beneath your boots. You're hanging off the edge, rope tied to the camp. Every gust makes the rope strain, every thunderclap echoes in your chest. What if the rope fails? What if someone falls off the cliff into the darkness below? Panic rises so sharp it's almost physical. Who would follow? Who could save? Them? You try to pull the rope back, your hands slipping, soaked and trembling. Why are you even pulling it? To save them, or to stop the inevitable? The rope holds, for now. But the fear doesn't let go. Every second is a choice between trust and terror. Groups of people had hiked a mountain, a sheer peak wrapped in mist and jagged rocks. Around them the slopes were steep, almost vertical, and the height could make one's stomachs twist. They were trying to climb down, carefully picking footholds, hands gripping rocks and vines. Why take such a risk? What could they possibly gain from clinging to that cliff? The fear was visible in every trembling movement, yet they pressed on, slow step by slow step. A man was on the mountainside attempting what he called a precision jump, carefully stepping along narrow iron rods, one step at a time, testing balance and control. Each move required total focus. But halfway through, he slipped. He fell, plunging toward the river below. The water hit him hard, and he landed awkwardly on his leg. What if it broke at that moment? What if he lost all sense of balance and tumbled further? Every second was a knife edge between skill and disaster, and the roar of the river made the fall feel endless. A man carefully stepped onto a bridge perched at the edge of a cliff. It wasn't just a bridge, it looked like a ladder too, a strange mix of both. The steps stretched endlessly in front of him, disappearing into the mist. He couldn't see where it began, couldn't see where it ended. The bridge shook with every movement, swaying as if alive, and his heart raced with panic. He wasn't alone. Others were crossing too, each step slow, tense, deliberate. What if he slipped? What if his leg gave out mid-step? What if the bridge itself betrayed him? Every second felt like teetering between trust and disaster, each shaky plank a reminder of how thin the line was between standing and falling. When he walked on that tiny rock path, fear gripped him with every step. On his left and right was nothing but an endless drop. No ground, no safety, just open space where a single misstep could send him plummeting. He couldn't move sideways. He couldn't look around. Panic pressed into his chest, making each breath sharp and shallow. He forced himself to look straight ahead, only forward, one careful step at a time. Any slip, any moment of weakness, and it would be over, death, or a life broken forever. The path demanded focus, courage, and control. Looking ahead was the only way to survive. Deep in the woods, mountains rose like jagged teeth, each slope facing another, creating shadows that twisted in the fading light. Between them, a narrow staircase descended, worn and uneven. The lady stepped carefully, one foot after the other, the planks groaning under weight. The forest was silent, but the height made every step feel like a risk. What if someone slipped? What if a misstep sent them tumbling down into the darkness below? Fear clung to the air like mist. Every glance around, every rustle in the trees made hearts pound. Curiosity fought panic. What awaited at the bottom, and who would dare reach it safely? Two men approached a dark hole, its edges slick and narrow. Water trickled from somewhere deep inside, forming small streams that glistened under their lights. They could see exactly where the water came from, winding through the rock like veins in a living thing. Cautiously they entered, moving through the shallow, cold water step by slippery step. The hole seemed ordinary at first, but what if it wasn't? What if they got stuck midway, trapped in the narrow, watery shaft? Panic would rise instantly, hearts hammering, lungs tight with fear. Snow blanketed the mountain staircase, each step hidden beneath a thick, icy layer. 2 hikers were making their way up, one in front, the other not far behind. The wind howled around them, carrying the bite of the cold and the sharp scent of fear. Suddenly the front hiker's foot slipped. He tumbled down, the snow crunching beneath him, a blur of motion. In an instant he collided with the hiker behind him, sending both of them sliding uncontrollably. The staircase, narrow and steep, offered no mercy. Some bystanders rushed forward, grabbing at them, anchoring them just enough to stop a complete fall. But the danger didn't vanish. Every step they had taken was now overshadowed by what could have gone wrong. Could someone have hit their head on the icy stone? Could the slide have ended in a fall down the mountain, lost to the snow forever? A hiker squeezed himself into a narrow cave wedged between massive rocks, the space tightening around his shoulders and chest. The air was cold and damp, and every sound echoed too loudly.
Fun! Let's go!
Panic crept in as he realized how little room he had to move. What if he got stuck and couldn't pull himself out? What if something sharp or alive brushed his leg in the darkness? His mind raced, imagining teeth, claws, or a shape slowly approaching from deeper inside.
Now, drop a comment with the scariest thing that's ever happened to you outdoors. And if these clips genuinely creeped you out, hit like. Subscribe too, because your story might end up in the next compilation.